Hey Welder Skills, I don't know why I keep doing this stuff in the snow, but I want to talk about buying something versus building something. So I just got a 7-foot box blade, and I could have built a 7-foot box blade. I mean, there's details involved, but it's not impossible. But something like this is super common, so they're very inexpensive compared to building one, because they're mass produced at such quantity. So obviously if I built one, it would be better than this one. My time for something. So we'll take a look at this one. I don't think it's too bad, but I think this area here is where it's going to fail. So right off the bat, I'm going to put a brace in here. And I think that's all it's going to take. So, building something versus buying something. For this project, I need a box blade to fix customers' driveways. I have a lot of driveways that need fixed, and including my own. And I think a box blade on a tractor would be extremely useful if you had a hydraulic top link and you had this hydraulic side link. See, the idea here is I can tilt that box blade to put a crown back in the road, and I can use the top link to control how much material the box blade will lay out. So when you're approaching something like this from a business standpoint, you have to get the money back that you put into the equipment, and you have to get enough money back to put food on the table. So in my estimation, if I were to have built the box blade and screwed around with making these hydraulics work, I would probably have about a week in it. And I would never get that amount of time and the material back. So in order to try to make a profit on this venture, I need to spend my time making this hydraulic stuff work, because none of this is normal. I mean, people have done it, but it's going to take a little bit of effort to make this work. So in order to turn a profit, I had to save some time, and that meant just buying that box blade and adding a piece to it where I think it's going to break before it breaks. It's always easier, if you know there's something that's going to fail, it's easier to beef it up before it's all bent. So what I've got going on here, this top link should be the other way. Like this piece should be hooked to the tractor, but it's not going to clear these hydraulic lines. In fact, that's how it is at the moment. So I have to put it on backwards. It doesn't really matter, it's going to work the same. I've had to do this on other tractors for clearance issues because it's just not going to clear these hydraulic ports. But the issue that I have is, if it's like this, it's not going to clear the hydraulic ports either. So I have to cut this off and turn it 90 degrees and weld it back on. I have not put oil in the cylinder yet, it's brand new. And with it pulled out the whole way, all the seals are on this end. And if I screw these out, there's an O-ring seal there, screw both of these out, the heat shouldn't bother me. I should be able to do that. Now the next issue is this side cylinder. Now it's pretty close. It only moves 4 inches, so its maximum travel is this much. So what I need to figure out is, well, right now I'm pretty sure it's not going to lift high enough. In fact, I know it's not going to lift high enough. So I'm probably going to have to cut a little bit off of this rod and shorten this cylinder up a little bit. This cylinder is halfway in its travel, and we're within a 1/4 inch between these two arms. So that way I can use the non-adjustable arm on this side. I was checking to make sure nothing was going to hit. If something mechanically was going to interfere and break itself, I want to fix that now. Because if you think to yourself, oh, I just won't move it that far, well, at some point you're going to move it that far and you're going to smash it. So I'm just making sure I can't break it just by moving it. Alright, I want to beef up this because the only thing holding this together is this one little bolt. And right about where I want to put the brace, you can see I want to have the brace right here, and you can see there's a hose gets in the way and it's lifted up the whole way. So I'm going to have to come back here and I'm going to put a brace back here. So it'll still work. That'll give me lots of room for the hoses. Got this all lined up now. I got some different hardware in here. I got these pins working. But I'm not happy with how this fits, so this is all going to get welded. I'm going to weld this in here. Because this bolts on for shipping reasons, not because it's a good idea. So I'm going to weld that all together, and then I don't like this because I'm going to be tipping this thing, tilting it, and that could give me an issue. I could get the hydraulic cylinder into the quick attach ports in the tractor for the hydraulics. So I'm going to weld some kind of shim in here to take this out. A little bit of pulse MIG. I think that looks a lot better. This hole is too big anyhow, so now the pin doesn't bang around. I think this has a chance of staying together now. Just needs a little bit of red paint.